Hello and welcome to A Game of Two Halves, the sports news show run by the students of the University of South Wales. My name is Max Drinkwater-James and today we talk rugby development, unrest at Newport County and talk to Archie Tooth about Saturday's bruising result for Wales rugby. But first, here are the latest headlines. Wales are still recovering from their bruising 73-0 defeat to South Africa on Saturday. The game, which was played outside the international test window, was the nation's heaviest rugby defeat since 1998 and the most points ever conceded in a home match. Head coach Steve Tandy admitted the manner of the defeat was hard to watch. In football, Cardiff City manager Brian Barry Murphy said it was very satisfying for his side to be back on top of the League One table. The Bluebirds beat Mansfield Town 3-0 on Saturday to rise to first in their first home game for over a month. They will face AFC Wimbledon in the EFL Trophy tomorrow evening. Wales's netballers suffered a defeat to champions Uganda in the Celtic Cup. The Feathers lost by 48 points to 70 at Glasgow's Emirates Arena and ended with 3 wins from 5 games after winning last year's competition. First on today's show, we talk Newport County. New manager Christian Fuchs has a tough task on his hands to revive the ailing Exiles. But what did the fans think of his appointment? Ethan Harris caught up with a few to find out.
After 12 years in England's 4th Division, Newport County have survived quite a few attempts, but this one could be the most precarious of all, with a big challenge for the Amber Army. The Exiles sit at the foot of the English Football League, and there is a mammoth task for new manager and former Premier League winner, Christian Fuchs.
And yeah, it's tough. I mean, the changing room, I love it. You know, this is where you want to be. This is where everything happens. And honestly, I can't wait to be here. For the players to be on the pitch, for the fans to cheering, for the players to support them. That's exactly what the players need right now, right? We need the support of our home fans.
Even the most adamant of county fans have had their stomachs turned by the form book this year, but there is still a belief amongst the faithful that it can be turned around.
Thoughts on a new manager? Obviously a change was needed. Whether he's got the experience as a manager to turn the fortunes around remains to be seen.
My thoughts on the new manager? Well, we're all just going to give him his best support because we need something to change. We need it to change quick.
Well, if anything sums up the last 18 months or so at Newport County, it's this place behind me. It used to be the officially sanctioned pub on match days for the Amber Army, but Bar Amber, as it was known, closed down a little over a year ago. And now, with the appointment of Christian Fuchs, Newport are hoping that their Football League ambitions don't go the same way as this building behind me.
Right, so Christian Fuchs, our new manager, his first home game today. Personally, I'm feeling quite confident that he will turn things around. From his interviews this week, the one on Wednesday, he certainly enjoyed his start and has confidence in the players. My own personal thought is if we can tighten up at the back and take more chances up front, we stand a chance of another great escape.
An interesting appointment, very little experience, okay, for League Two. However, I understand that, he is bringing in some investment into the team, which is, what's needed.
Very sad to see the last manager go. I thought he was a very decent person just couldn't get that team to play. So I hope he really does well in the future and I wish him the best. As for this manager, all the best wishes for him. I think he's a bit unproven, but that could still work and I hope it happens.
3 was clearly the magic number for County. 3 wins at home in 2025, 3 managers in 2025. But a few more 3 points could potentially put the cat amongst the pigeons in a League Two relegation battle.
Now, with Christmas looming around the corner, many are dreaming of a new kit for their beloved club. But when a team is doing badly, does the clamour for gifts rise or grow? Ethan Harris pounded the high street to find out.
Christmas is on the horizon and the high streets are starting to flood with trade. But it's not always consistent, especially when you're dealing with football or rugby teams. This shop here in Newport is operated by manufacturer VX3 and currently operates both Dragons Rugby and Newport County equipment. And in many ways, it is merely a microcosm of the changing landscape of retail. In times where the city sides are struggling, especially now in Newport, A lot of the brunt of the criticism can be placed upon the players and the coaching staff, but it's those off the field that suffer equally as well. And the city certainly has suffered over the past few months. Both County and the Dragons sit near the bottom of their respective tables at the moment. Talking to some of the staff in the shop revealed a very interesting divide in consumer attitudes. Whilst Newport County were still selling well despite being at the bottom of League 2, the Dragons had certainly taken a hit after their poor run of form. But with Christmas on the horizon, both were, in their eyes, starting to hold up again. If you can look past the bevy of price tags, there are actually a few reminders of these sides' victories in the past, including Newport County's various successes. But with Newport County currently heading down the non-league trapdoor and the Dragons' existence in question, it remains to be seen how long this state of affairs will be able to continue in the city of Newport.
We now head to one of Wales's most successful rugby schools, the Welsh-speaking Ysgol Glan Taff, and hear from their head of department, Llywarch ap Myrddin.
The building behind me has produced no fewer than 9 Welsh rugby internationals and a slew of talent for the regions in the country. And today I'm here to meet the man who makes it all happen.
So I got involved in 2015. So I was a hub officer down in Swansea, and then the job came out in Glantaf, and I was excited. It was a Glantaf were recruiting to get involved in such a brilliant rugby school. Obviously, rugby has been the main sport here, and there's a huge rugby culture here, right all the way through from year 7 onwards. Kids know they're coming into school to a big rugby school, and we play a lot of extracurricular, a lot of training, and passionate, dedicated teachers. Really, we've got a good system in place, so to allow those kids to play. Yeah, so we've got a good link with our primary schools, so very good primary schools catchment as well. And then obviously coming into year 7, we'll have A, B, C, D teams, so 4 teams in year 7 and year 8. And then it goes to about 2 years, 2 teams in year 9, 10, and then 11 on the 6th form. There's 2 teams there as well. It's the rugby culture, the rugby mindset. We play a certain way. It's quite important to us. The Glantaf way, we play rugby the right way. And kids coming into school know that before stepping foot in year 7. And I think we've got dedicated PE staff, probably tripling the hours that we should be doing. That is generally mainly because we do before school, lunchtime, break time, after school. So our day starts at 7, finishes 5:30. So we do work extremely hard, yeah. And that shows then, obviously, the passion that rubs off on the kids then. It means something to us as obviously staff. We've been doing rugby league, mainly just to develop the aspect, the contact area and tackling side of stuff. And again, opportunities to be travelling up to North England and playing those type of sides, total different game. So it's we try and give them as much opportunities as possible to play, basically. We are a Welsh school, and I think we are setting the barrier. It's not like it's a minority. We are setting the barrier for rugby provision in Cardiff, I think, and again that's part of our culture. The rich history in terms of that's laid before us in terms of PE teachers, great PE heads of PE. That's laid the rugby foundation. Is hopefully we're just carrying the baton now, and then we'll pass it on to the next staff and the people involved.
I'm now joined in the studio by fellow third-year Archie Tooth to discuss Wales's battering on Saturday. So Archie, just try and sum up that game on Saturday against South Africa if you can.
I think the result kind of proved what everyone knew going into it, that it was kind of an irrelevant test match. Wales right now, they're in a rut, and then when you face the world champions at the end of this sort of international period, it just kind of spoils all the progress they kind of made, and obviously losing 73-0 just kind of showed that, really. Obviously fly half Sacha Feinberg Ngumazulu scored 28 points, and he was 9 from the field. So I mean, it was a tough pill for Wales to swallow, considering they showed some promise against New Zealand earlier in the week.
Yeah, and you spoke about progress, having those positive performances, and what do you make of this, of Steve Tandy's first term in charge? You know, he has ultimately only got the 1 win from the 3.
I mean, it shows that the problem is greater than a coach in terms of the sort of talent coming through the ranks in Wales isn't good enough right now to compete at the top. So, and everything that's going on with the WRU in terms of those 4 Welsh clubs, it's kind of tough to know what direction the country are going to go in after, obviously, a Quilter Nations series that wasn't the best, really.
And looking ahead to this coming Six Nations now, what are your thoughts and what are your predictions for Wales? Where do you think they'll finish up?
I can't really see them doing anything better than maybe getting 2 wins at max, but really it's pretty glum for Welsh rugby right now.
Thank you, Archie. Here's a look at what's in store on the programme.
Puncher's Chance. Puncher's Chance podcast.
Now, there is plenty of talent here at the University of South Wales, as discovered when we caught up with second-year student Jamie Preston to talk about his sporting love.
I'm here in Newport to meet second-year student Jamie Preston, and judging by the backgrounds, no prizes for what his main passion is. A regular morning at Rodney Parade, just another EFL stadium in the eyes of many, but for Jamie, this place is nearly a cathedral.
Started coming down here in 2017. My grandfather got me into it. I was a Liverpool fan before, still am pretty much because of the family blood, but county's just always been the way for my family. My dad and my granddad used to go down to Somerton Park in the 80s and 90s, used to get lifts off John Aldridge, could you believe it? But yeah, it's just been a family thing ever since the early 80s sort of thing.
It soon became clear that there was one particular event that influenced Jamie's life as a football fan.
I think it was the Leicester City game, really. Obviously, going into that game, we were massive unfavourites, with Leicester being former Premier League champions. But somehow we pulled off the absolute miracle. Ammon's penalty. I was sat just over there in the Hazel. One of the better experiences as a county fan, as well as that hosting Wrexham and Manchester United in around the same week, really. Beating Wrexham and just missing out on beating Manchester United was an amazing experience.
However, there's more to Jamie than just his beloved Amber Army, as he soon revealed.
My first sporting memory would probably be Jenson Button winning the 2009 Formula One World Championship with the Braun GP car after dominating that first half of the season, and then I don't really know what happened after that, but I was 5 years old, I was playing with Lego sets on the floor, just watching F1.
Plenty of great sporting memories, and hopefully a few to be made in the future.
Finally, the game of futsal is growing in popularity in Wales. If you've never heard of it, think of an indoor version of football. The country now has its own league, and Ethan Harris went to Cardiff's House of Sport to see what all the fuss is about.
It's a sport that divides opinion, but it's certainly on the rise here in Wales. Welcome to the world of futsal. The biggest professional league in this neck of the woods is the FAW Futsal League South. Tonight, I've come to see 2 of the 4 Cardiff-based teams in action, but there are also teams in Swansea and Newport to close. The sheer amount of noise you hear on the court, it is very similar to basketball or netball or any indoor sport really, because there is a klaxon at the end of every half and the whistles. The sheer force is deafening. Now, some of the biggest names in football have actually started in futsal. Even Lionel Messi was rumoured to have once began his playing career here. But one thing is for certain, the FAW are sure they won't let another generation of talent, well, slip through the cracks.
That's just about all we have time for here on A Game of Two Halves. Don't forget you can catch more from us on SJTV. From myself and the rest of the team, goodbye. Thanks.